So welcome back here, 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open, second stop on the PSP Tour. And next up we have the Challengers semifinals. Houston Heat is trying to fight to get back in the Champions Division. They're going to have to defeat Trenton Topgun Union to do it. They're a strong team too, and they earn the right to be in this semifinal matchup. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez. We're going to say goodbye to Steve Rabikoff for a little bit. And Todd, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you very much. That was a tough one out there, man. I mean,
you're playing against Archaeos.
Playing against Archaeos.
I know they didn't have a good event, but come on, that's some of the best players ever to play the game, literally.
Yeah. Like, after that damage game that we played on Friday in a 5-5 tie, every game after that was 2-2, 3-2, 2-1. Like, that game last there, 3-2. You know, just these long grinder out points.
So what do you think about this matchup here? Houston Heat trying to fight to get back in the Champions Division with their own superstar lineup. And that's how crazy the PSP is, though, man. Houston Heat went down to the last one, and now Archaeos goes down in this one after bumping up from Dallas. You know, Houston Heat, that team really was assembled to try to recreate the magic they had with those Archaeos players, some of them when Houston Heat won 4 out of 10 events the past 2 years. And they restacked after losing those guys to Archaeos. They restacked with some impact players and Tim Montresor, Greg Sewers, and Ryan Moorhead. Ryan Moorhead actually not playing here at this event as he, I believe he injured his Achilles.
Yeah.
Have you heard the prognosis on that?
He said it's been bothering him for a while, and you know it's just been so sore that he didn't want to take the chance of really having a permanent injury on it or tearing it, you know, because that's easily a 9 to 12 month injury. So he's taking this one off, and the team's still playing really well. You know, they got a lot of talent over there, a lot of versatile players. So you know, they figured that they could have him get a rest and come back 100% instead of trying to keep fighting through a nagging injury.
So right now, 5 bodies alive for Houston Heat, looking pretty good. They got a shot. Thomas Taylor was able to get a shot on Andrew Johnson, and they sent Thomas Taylor to the same spot there that Brad McCurley had been going to in that infamous game. It's a defensive position, but you got a couple of good shots from there. Now another body drops. Heyman Chapman getting shot for Trenton Topgun. Still 5 players alive for Houston Heat.
And there goes Tim Montresor backing up to the Snake Temple behind Thomas Taylor. Oh, Thomas Taylor gets a bounce. Oh, no, that broke. Thomas Taylor comes walking off. He tries to check off the inside and gets shot. So 1 body down for Houston Heat, but they still have Ronnie Dizon over there in the Dorito 2, the Dorito corner. Nick Sloviak's in that Dorito side tower, and Tim Montresor alive over here on the Snake side temple. Lance Hardwick's up in the Dorito side tower 4. Oh, there goes Ronnie Dizon on the move up into the Dorito 2 now.
And now that Thomas Taylor and Dizon got shot out of their spots by Chris Shear and Lance Hardwick, it's just Sloviak.
Chris Shear got shot on that bump into the Dorito 2, and Lance Hardwick gets shot out of the tower. Here comes Houston Heat. On the offensive, just Michael Smith left in the Snake side corner, and he gets a shot in on Nick Sloviak. But still too many bodies alive for Houston Heat, and Top Gun's gonna blow the horn. So 1-0 lead now for Houston Heat. About a 2.5 minute point there.
This game brought to you by GI Sports. Huge supporters of the game, the PSP, our webcasts, paintball in general. Please help us support the sport, man. We are trying to push this thing forward by creating something that that hasn't existed before. Statistics never existed before. Fantasy paintball never existed before. Never before. Honestly, Todd, I mean, when was the last time we saw the top level teams this good? This, you know, where the parity at the highest level of the game is so ridiculous that teams like Houston Heat go down, Infamous goes down, Archaeos. I mean, no longer is it just 1 or 2 teams stomping out the rest of the professional division. Now, realistically, I mean, you could almost say that, you know, maybe, you know, Vicious is obviously close to ready to win a tournament. And if Upton 187 Crew can beat Infamous in a big game like they did, maybe Upton 187 Crew is ready to win a tournament too.
I feel like Upton 187 Crew's record didn't really reflect how they played this weekend. I thought they played some pretty solid paintball. And once again, they got better, you know, from the beginning of the tournament to the end of the tournament. And those guys are playing with confidence, you know, and I really got to give it to 187 Crew for the way that they played. And, you know, in that relegation game also to fight back, you know, and then come back and win against Infamous, you know, who is a tough team that just won the last event. So, I mean, you know, hats off to 187 for, you know, being in that situation many times and having to fight out of the Challengers division, back up into the Champions, back down, back up, and now playing for relegation and beating a team that just won the Dallas event.
Yeah, so before the start of this next point here, we just saw that game matchups. You got to give the advantage to Houston Heat here, as they've really been playing really well at this tournament. And also, the players, the roster they have, it's just how long is it going to take for them to get it together? And they looked really good in that first point.
It's Chad George getting shot on the break coming out to the snake side tower, but Michael Smith getting shot as well for Trenton Topgun over here on the snake side. 4 bodies alive on both sides right now, actually almost mirrored up. 2 bodies in the Dorito tower, 1 body in the snake can for both teams. Heyman Chapman's up in that Dorito side can. Looking on the inside, here comes Greg Sewers on the attack into Heyman's mirror. He's looking down the Dorito side, looking to come across. We got Woodley, Monville, Chad Boucher over there in the Dorito 1 for Houston Heat. Woodley in that Dorito tower.
Yeah, so 4 players left alive for Heat. They're in the pocket. Same thing with Trenton Topgun. Johnson, Shear, Hardwick, and Chapman on the field for Topgun. And pretty much close to the same field position. A little bit better for field position right now for Houston Heat, as they do have a player in that D1, as it's Chad Boucher over there. Oh, I think Chad just might have got a shot on somebody. He's calling his kill across field. The referees are checking him out. No, he's clean. So right now, Houston Heat, oh, here comes Topgun slipping and sliding, trying to get out wide. And it looks like Andrew Johnson is able to get out there alive. Oh, but they lose a body in the center.
There goes Heyman Chapman out of that Dorito side can, and Greg Sewers takes that opportunity to jump into the A Fortress over there. He's gonna edge out a little bit wider, see if he can get a shot in on that tower, pop up over the top, shooting at that snake side temple. There you see Greg really working that fortress over there in the middle of the field. 3 bodies left alive for Topgun Union. Lance Hardwick, Andrew Johnson, and Chris Shear on the outside. There you see Woodley in that temple, number 1, Houston Heat. Chad Boucher up now in the Dorito 2. Sam Monville to the right of your screen in the snake side can, number 19. There's Ronnie Dizon in the pits. Help put up a point for Houston Heat.
So the point is slowed down here. Houston Heat with that 1-point lead, 4 bodies for them, 3 for Topgun. And Topgun, not really good field position. I mean, they do have a body out over here, but anytime, Todd, we keep seeing this, is that when teams get stuck doubling up that back center, very rarely are they able to fight out when the field's been spread even a little bit, to be honest. And also that center is really starting to come into play a lot too. It's been in play, but as we get deeper into this tournament, really looking forward to seeing who steps up in the center 50 fortress, because it is a crucial bunker on the field.
Yeah, and I mean, Houston Heat with a 1-0 lead, really not trying to force anything right now. Greg Sewers in that middle of the field, kind of probing, looking for shots. Topgun not really with anywhere to go. Just trying to win a gun battle to give themselves to make it even, but Houston Heat not really giving anything up. Sam Monville's just got the snake side on lock. He's not going anywhere. Chad Boucher over there in the Dorito 2 on the top left of your screen. Greg Sewers now switched sides of the A. Gonna get a little look underneath, see if he can get a shot in on Lance Hardwick. Might have something. Let's see what he gets. Can he find one?
Yeah, everyone's just searching for shots right now. Houston Heat, they don't want to give anything up. They have a slight lead. They don't want to, and a 1-body advantage too. So, no one on Houston Heat's gonna want to be that guy that loses a gunfight to even this body count up when they're up 1.
Greg Sewers stands up.
Hardwick almost caught one right there. Sewers almost wrapped around from that center and put one on Hardwick. Sewers in really good field position right here. And then also looks like Sam Monville behind Sewers. Sam Monville, they've been playing over there in the Challengers Division field. It's the first time we've seen Houston Heat on the main field. Oh,
I think Sewers got it.
So they were looking for that kill. Again, and Todd, this is just what I was talking about. It's so hard to, that's not, yeah, it's a big bunker, but we put 2 guys behind it, and if the field is spread at all, then it's just so tough to live back there because you just have to basically be engaged in a gunfight constantly, and that's a low percentage play.
So just 2 bodies left alive for Top Gun, Johnson and Shear. They have it crossed up, but that's going to allow Chad Boucher to kind of come around the outside. He's in that first pin, going to come across onto Top Gun's side of the field, try and get a wrap shot on Johnson. Johnson tucked in tight, trying to shoot across the field. Here comes Woodley in with Chad Boucher. Sam Monville still over here on the snake side, keeping Chris Shear honest. And Houston Heat playing this really smart, really slow. If you're Top Gun, you might want to consider blowing the horn.
Good call. And so the horn is blown. Trenton Topgun going to concede this point, so that's going to put Houston Heat up 2-0 with exactly 12 minutes left to play. And very methodical work by Houston Heat. They had the advantage pretty much the whole time, slowly but surely started working out enough of the Top Gun players to force them to concede the point, as it was a 4-on-2. Yeah, so now these teams are going to come back out here in a couple minutes and play this next point. We'll be right back after this.
If you want some summer fun this year, join the JT First Shot Challenge, Saturday, June 21st at the Chicago PSP Open. It's only $75 per team, and all of your gear and equipment is included. This event is all ages 9 and up and requires no experience. There will be prizes for first through third. Teams, you can get a free case of Evil Paint by referring a team to this exciting low-impact sport. You'll also get tips from pros, free tickets, and discounts in the PSP Chicago event. For more information, go to jtfirstshot.com.
The owner of Houston Heat, Randy Smith, who did really all he could, man, to try to keep this team at a championship caliber level as far as the talent is concerned. They had a bad event at the first one, but you know, pretty much a brand new team, Todd, with the addition of all those new players. I mean, yeah, those are big names, but it takes time to get it together.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see with a lot of these teams, I mean, our Chaos, definitely one of them. They came out here and lost 5 games. Houston Heat, their first event together. They went down to the Challengers Division. The LA Ironmen, first event, you know, just kind of struggled early. Were able to maintain their spot, but, you know, it takes time once you get new players for everybody to get on the same page and play like a team.
5 bodies alive for Top Gun. This is their chance to try to get back in this one, but Houston Heat also has 5 bodies alive. But Top Gun has spread the field a little bit more on the snake side, but Houston Heat has spread the field by getting Keith DeVitt out the back corner bunker on the D side of the field. Now number 27 for Top Gun. Michael Smith makes his move into the center, is being scoured over by the referee, but it looks like he's clean. Todd, talk to us about how important that bunker is right there.
The one that Michael Smith is in?
Yeah. A lot of guys are going to it today.
A lot of guys are going to it. I mean, from that spot, I mean, you can go there and you can kind of lock off the Dorito side. It's a good spot to go to because sometimes that can be kind of, as Michael Smith gets a penalty, gets shot out of there and gets a minor. But, I mean, it's a good bunker to be able to be in to kind of give a little bit more of a spread on the field if, you know, getting to that snake side temple's hard to make it out. So, I mean, it's got some shots straight ahead. It can lock off the snake side, but yeah, it's kind of hit and miss if you're going to get production out of it.
It just seems like a safer spot to get to than doubling up that can, as long as it's a defensive position for sure.
Yeah.
Not a lot of offense from that position, but Brad McCurley went there twice when they were playing against Upton 187 crew, was able to make it in there and slow some points down and help to keep it close with 187. And we keep seeing guys go there. I think it's because it is a little bit safer. It's harder to get there, obviously, but if you do, it's just a safer spot. There's Smith. You can see the referee again is going to come in and see a hit and then pull that penalty out. But it was a minor penalty, which means that it will come off the board. 1 minute minor signified by a yellow flag being thrown in the air by a referee. Major penalties are 2 minutes long, and those are signified by a red flag thrown in the air by a ref. And the majors stay on the entire time, as you see there at the end of that last point. So 10 minutes and 34 seconds to go, but Top Gun just not able to match Houston Heat right now.
No, Houston Heat, they're getting out to all their spots. They're getting their guys alive, and they're just making smarter bumps. They're a more seasoned team. A lot of veterans on this team. They know what's at stake, and Jason Trojan's calling a good game right now, getting guys out to spots alive, and that's very, very important on this field layout when you're playing such long, slow, drawn-out points, just cutting down zones.
Yeah, and that's what Top Gun's issue is right now. They're just losing a few more bodies, and even 1 or 2 lost gunfights in a point when you're not getting kills is going to be that's disaster. I know it doesn't seem like much, but with the way that these long points are going and the fact that it is hard to get out wide, as soon as a couple guns come off, then you are able to make those moves. And as soon as you do get out wide, and if the other team's stuck in the pocket, and we've been seeing this time and time again, it's going to be very, very rough for that team. Now, but you can fight back from that. We have seen a couple guys and a couple teams in some points be able to get those kills and win those situations. But let's check in with Lauren Kelly down on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I'm here with Nick Sloviak in the Houston Heat pit. You guys were playing in the challenger bracket for this tournament. Was it? You still are. What was it like playing on that field?
It was definitely a learning experience. 1 with just the conditions of the field, 2 with the refs, and 3 as a team. It wasn't fun playing Tampa Bay Damage the last event and getting into the spot, and so we've worked really hard and just worked our best on making or playing as mistake-free paintball as possible.
What were some of those things that you guys learned as a team by going down to that division?
I mean, anyone can beat you. Don't go in too overconfident. You have to respect everybody, and just believe in each other and win.
You guys did play the Russians once in the prelims, and you beat them, but it was a close one. What were you expecting them to come here with, having already have played them?
It's a new team compared to last year. I think they've got most of the Tauntauns on the team, so. I mean, just took it as another game, and a couple guys on our team have a special place in their heart for some of the Tauntaun players, so we came at them pretty hard, and it was a good game. I think we kind of let up at the end, and that let them come back. But maybe if this game goes well, we'll play them again.
All right. Well, they are up 3 points right now, 3-0. Stay tuned to see if the Russians can get a point on the board.
Accessing awesome paintball gear from RazaLife.com.
Yeah, Raza believes in creating something for absolutely everyone. You can customize any Raza jersey or have your own custom jersey designed just for you.
Wow, Raza sure makes it easy to represent who you are and where you're from with custom jerseys, pants, and much more.
You really can get in on the action and feast on all Raza has to offer by calling right away.
So the story of the year right now is how Raza can really bring out the style your team is looking for. Thanks for checking out RazaLife.com. Come right back after watching this tournament.
Houston Heat on your screen right now. On the right-hand side, Top Gun Union down by 3. This is a must-win situation for them right now, Todd. They need this point. They need to keep it close. Oh, this is their chance. 2 bodies dropping early here for Houston Heat.
Yeah, there goes Chad George getting shot. Both spins he's gotten out on the field. And Sam Monville getting shot early. Greg Sewers jumps into the Dorito 1. And Chad Boucher's over there in the Dorito side corner. Woodley, the only gun, looking towards the snake side. Top Gun going to take advantage of that. Lance Hardwick's going to bump out here to that wing. And Top Gun goes jumping into the snake 1. That's Jared Lackey. Now coming across Lance Hardwick, usually known for playing those tall stand-ups and shooting a ton of paint. Just dove into the 50 snake with about 9 pods on his back. 2 bodies alive over there on the Dorito side for Top Gun as well. Huge field spread. Nobody in the middle for Top Gun right now, all across the bunkers, but they lose Lance Hardwick out of that 50 snake.
Yeah, so they still have good field position, though. Even though they lost Hardwick, he was the farthest guy forward. They have spread the field. They have a body in Snake 1. They also have a body in D2 and D1 with Heyman Chapman, Lackey, Johnson, and Shear left on the field for Top Gun. 9 minutes and 18 seconds to go here.
So Top Gun, Dorito 1, Dorito 2, Chris Shear and Heyman Chapman over there, Jared Lackey and Andrew Johnson in the snake corner and the snake 1. 9:04 left to go here. Top Gun going to have to start attacking if they're going to get back in this game, as they're down 3-0. For the first time, like you said, they get that advantage on the break. Had a 5-on-3. Now it's a 4-on-3. But with this field position, they need to really communicate, work together. I mean, that's been one of the biggest things. I mean, it always is. Every field, communication is huge.
And particularly on this layout. I don't think we've seen a layout in the past 2 years where communication has been a bigger deal than on this layout right now. Long points, and when long points happen, well, you have to talk it up. And when gunfight deaths happen, it's different. When a guy's making a move downfield, it's a lot of times it's easier to see that, oh, it looks like John Woodley gets shot out of his bunker. So this is the chance right now for Top Gun to pull within 2. Can they close this point out? They have good field position, 50-yard line on D side and on the Snake side. There's a 50-yard line Snake right there. And he is going to wrap around, try to get a shot back bunker with Chad Boucher, and Greg Sewers still alive here. And here comes the big move. The Top Gun is getting eaten up. Chad Boucher is just taking the aggressive attack and stomping it right now. 2 bodies drop for Top Gun.
I think Chris Scheer ran right by him. Had no idea he was there. Ran right by Greg Sewers.
Greg Sewers and Chad Boucher are having a game right now.
Heyman Chapman over there in the Dorito 1. And there goes Greg Sewers, slides into the Dorito 3 of Top Gun. Johnson over here gonna try and wrap around, get a shot in on him. Heyman Chapman's wrapped all the way on the inside, or tucked all the way on the inside. Chad Boucher. Nobody's looking at Chad Boucher right now. And here comes Johnson. He's gonna bump up the field.
So it's still a possibility that Top Gun could pull this out. 2-on-2, Heyman Chapman and Andrew Johnson. But a move is made, and it looks like Johnson.
Looks like they trade out, so it's a 1-on-1, Chad Boucher and Johnson.
Ooh, Chad Boucher just dodges one. So Chad Johnson is about to, or Andrew Johnson loads his last pod. Not sure how much paint Boucher still has left. Tense situation, Andrew Johnson in the Snake for Trenton Top Gun. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go. So Todd, not a lot of time left here. If Top Gun doesn't win this point, it's all on Johnson's shoulders right now. Johnson needs to get a shot on Chad. And if he's able to get a shot on Chad, then that means that they're going to be able to pull within 2 with enough time to tie it up. But if he doesn't do that, then that's going to put Houston Heat up 4 with not a lot of time left for them to score 4 points.
Yeah, and the winner of this game guarantees themselves a spot in the Champions League for the next event. Andrew Johnson right now, he knows he's got to risk it.
Chad doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, Chad's lost him, but he's just playing it tight.
Oh, Johnson almost got the shot in on him. But Johnson misses his shot, and then now Johnson pulls off the 1-on-1 victory. Nice job by Andrew Johnson taking out Chad Boucher, and that is going to put Top Gun on the board finally for their first point with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go here. We got ourselves a 2-point ball game, Todd.
Yeah, so, I mean, making it a little bit more interesting right there. Andrew Johnson on the offensive, doing a good job of getting a point. Making sure, I mean, this game started off 5-on-3 and ends up in a 1-on-1. You got to make sure you take advantage of those high body situations. And, you know, Top Gun almost let Houston Heat get back in it right there. Well, they did let him get back in it, but.
Yeah, but Top Gun threw a couple bodies away. I was getting a little scared for Top Gun in that point. Saw 2 guys just run down the field, get blasted, and as Chad was balling out there in the back corner bunker, and Greg Sewers was moving up on the D side, but Greg made a huge move to take out Chapman and traded out with him though, and then that put them in a situation where it was a 1-on-1, and Johnson just outplayed Chad right there.
Yeah, Johnson, I mean, he came to the inside, gave him a little okey doke move, and you were right, you know, right when you said that, Chad Boucher lost him, but you know, once he picked him up when he came across, but came out right away, and Andrew Johnson just made a good snapshot on him. So,
yeah, so
that's why you practice those 1-on-1s in practice, right?
Yeah, you want to play as many 1-on-1s as you possibly can in practice, because you never know when you're going to be in that situation and have to put your team on your back. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly. She's down in the pits.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Andrew Johnson. Congratulations, you just secured that first point for Top Gun. What was running through your mind during that point when you knew it was on your shoulders to get a point on the board?
At first, I just wanted to kill the guy that was on our side of the field, obviously. And then I heard their coach saying basically that he's just going to sit there, so I just knew to come, and I had to. So as soon as I got up close to him, everyone expects you to go high right, so I went high left.
All right, well, he did get that point. They're only down by 2 points. We'll see if they can get another one against Heat.
And an out-of-breath Johnson, man, but hey, he did it. He got it done, put that point on the board. It's a 2-point spread right now. Oh, leaving early. Houston Heat dropping the ball right here, and that's going to be, that's going to take out Thomas Taylor. Tim Montresor also comes off for leaving early there. And that is a giant grenade just went off, and Houston Heat side of the field. 3 players left alive for them, but they did get a shot on Michael Smith. So it's 4-on-3 right now, 2-point spread. 5 minutes and 17 seconds to go.
And good field position for Top Gun as they're able to get out here onto the snake side of the field again, but they allow Nick Slowiak to come over here and fill the gap. And uh-oh, this is gonna be bad news right now. Looks like Keith DeVitt just got a major penalty.
So this is the opportunity as Nick Slowiak's wheeling and dealing back and forth. He's got a giant hit on his hopper. That's gonna be another penalty. So 3 penalties for Houston Heat here. That was a well-deserved penalty for Nick Slowiak. He's trying to plead his case, but he he obviously didn't feel it or he wouldn't have been playing, but that's about as big of a hit as you possibly could have on your top of your loader right there.
Uh-oh. So 3 penalties and 1 point right there. And I don't believe there's anybody left to pull. So they're gonna start with, I believe, 2 bodies in the box.
Yeah, lucky for Houston Heat that
so Thomas's starting early penalty. Montress will come out of the box, but I'm pretty sure that since there's only 3 bodies on Keith DeVitt's penalty, the Dorito guy gets pulled. It's just Nick Slowiak left, and then he gets a penalty, so he's going to have to start in the box. So he'll have a full 1-minute penalty, and there will be 1:43 left on Keith DeVitt's.
So worst possible case scenario right now for Houston Heat. They still do have a lead though, and we got ourselves a 1-point game. 4:38. Top Gun are going to be on a huge power play. This is their chance. Can they do it? We'll find out in just a few moments.
You heard me, Chris? That's twice you bounced him, man.
No, Bryson, you're in.
Twice.
Fish, Bryson, Lance, Chris, and Heyman. Bryson, dig for the guys.
All right, let's go, day 1!
Let's go.
Let's go! Hold on, Bryson.
T1 Top Gun Union has a chance now. They will have 5 bodies alive against Houston Heat. Only 3 players alive or 3 players to start this point alive for them, as there's going to be a full. So Todd, you broke it down perfectly. Minute 49 on that major penalty from Keith DeVitt, and then that Nick Slowiak penalty, that 1-minute minor, no one left to pull. So he's going to have to do that time, and it's going to be tough. So the good thing for Heat though is they still have the lead. And also, there is 4 minutes and 38 seconds, so they should, on this field, if they can get a kill, maybe grind down, at least get Slowiak out, and then just try to fight through that major, and then hope to God that Top Gun doesn't get any kills on the 3 players that start this point for them. On the flip side, Top Gun, this is their opportunity. This is what Top Gun wanted to happen here, and they need to not blow this opportunity, though. 5-on-3, there's no reason Top Gun shouldn't win this point right now and tie it up.
Yeah, and you've heard Top Gun in the pits saying they keep bouncing guys. Well, you keep getting those unlucky breaks, eventually they start to go your way. You know, but Houston Heat right now, you know, losing those couple points, losing 2 bodies off the snake side early. You know, both those times, the last time they got a gift from Thomas Taylor, heard the horn from the other field, took off, you know, just a second too early. But, I mean, Houston Heat, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the 3-body play. And, you know, is Top Gun going to be able to get, you know, the same kills off the break that they got that second point when they earned their first point. So they got the usual suspects in there. Heyman Chapman, Chris Shear, Lance Hardwick. Looks like they got Johnson back on the field, Michael Smith back out on the field again, and Johnson. So Stepping on the field for Houston Heat, John Woodley, Sam Monville. They're going to have Dizon and Montressor in the box. So making it exciting over here.
I'm like, oh God, is Top Gun. But you know, it just goes to show you you have to maintain your composure. I know it was a tough break for them as they got that early start or tried to leave early, got caught. But you can't ever pump the brakes on anybody now.
No.
You have to keep it up. Just because you go up 3-0 doesn't mean the team is just going to roll over and die. So Houston Heat here on your left. Top Gun, Houston Heat, only 3 bodies. Can they get them out alive? And it looks like Houston Heat was able to get them out alive. So that's a big deal for them. But Top Gun also keeping their 5 bodies alive. Houston Heat didn't shoot anybody, but they didn't lose anybody. And here comes Hardwick. Hardwick up into the center. He's going to roll around and try to shut down that D side of the field. 2 bodies still in that penalty box. Tim Montressor and Ronnie Dizon to start this point. So 28 seconds left on Sloviak's penalty. So let's see. And I think that's going to be Dizon coming out. And I think Tim Montressor got pulled on the major. So Hardwick throws his body away. Did Hardwick think, what was he doing? Did he think that the center was hot to try to bunker somebody out there that didn't exist?
I have no idea where he was going. Especially not with 3 bodies. Doubt Heat's going to send one up to the A right away. But only 5 seconds left on that first minor. So Montressor's getting ready to come out right now, trying to pick a side. He's going to get out and get shot coming out of the box. So at least Top Gun was able to pick up that body. But time ticking away. Houston Heat still has the lead here. And we're approaching the 3-minute mark. So right about 3 minutes, Houston Heat's going to get Ronnie Dizon out of the box. But they've dropped a body. They still have the advantage right now. But nursing a 1-point lead, Houston Heat just trying to stay alive. Woodley, Monville, and Sewers, who's in the Dorito 1, watching across the middle with Monville.
Yeah, so the 4 bodies left alive right now for Top Gun. And they are gunfighting. They know that they need another point. Only 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go. And
it looks like they got Dizon out of the box. It looked like Woodley might have taken one, but he's still alive.
So 4 bodies still. It's 4 bodies on 4 bodies right now. Heyman Chapman, only player with a kill so far in this point for Top Gun. Lance Harbert got shot by Greg Sewers. It's Lackey, Shear, Johnson, and Chapman. Chapman, the kill count leader with 4 for Top Gun. On the flip side, Houston Heat, it's Dizon, Monville, Woodley, and Sewers. Sewers, the kill count leader with 4 as well for Houston Heat.
Oh, there goes Smith for Top Gun off the snake side. So 3 bodies left alive on the 4 of Houston Heat. So Houston Heat now with 2 minutes left can just sit in their spots and stay alive.
Yeah, and that's and that's exactly what Trenton Topgun can't do. They cannot just sit there and let this time tick off. They have to put themselves in position to attack. They cannot attack from the positions that they're in currently. So look for Top Gun to try to make moves to that center 50 structure if possible. They're looking for the moves and then also move up on the D side. Here comes Heyman Chapman. He gets into D2. So trying to put themselves in position to make an effective attack work. And then Houston Heat, with their 4 bodies, they're not going to do anything other than sit there and control those lanes and make Top Gun push into them. Now to the 50-yard line. So 3 bodies still. Top Gun, they're looking for those moves. Chris Shear, Chapman, and Johnson.
And Chris Shear is looking to get up in that A and try and make a move, but too many guns. Oh, and look like Sewers is calling a hit over here on Andrew Johnson. And the referee is going to call him clean. Johnson's still alive in that wing. Heyman Chapman's in Dorito 2 now, just trying to gun battle somebody in and make a move.
And
only 47 seconds left.
They got to make it happen here, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's time to go.
Yeah, they're only down 1, so they need to put 1 on the board. But you know, with less than 40 to go, it's Chris Shear, Johnson, and Chapman on the field left for Top Gun, trying to push into 4 guns of Houston Heat. Houston Heat is locked as tight into their bunkers as they possibly can. There's Topgun on your screen. Look for him to make a move. They're trying to fight. Here comes the move up the center, but he gets blown to bits. That's not going to do it. 2 players left alive. I think Chapman just got shot out, and there goes Johnson too. So the hopes for Topgun Union to move back into the Champions Division are dying right now. As Houston Heat, though, Houston Heat made that mistake in that penny-filled point not too long ago to make this close, are going to seal the deal and take this game 3-2.
As the Houston Heat fan erupts over here on the sidelines. Houston Heat always travels well with a lot of friends and family. They got a big gathering up here at the bleachers this morning watching their team. So Houston Heat defeating Topgun, going to secure themselves a position in the Champions League for the Chicago event. A lot of those guys hometown as well, so.
Yeah, so next up it's going to be Houston VCK taking on Moscow Red Legion. And Moscow Red Legion had a terrible event in Dallas, but they came back into this one and played very well in the prelims to earn the right to play in the semifinals. And an interesting story with Houston VCK, this is only their second tournament in any pro division, and they made the bump up from D1 last year to come into the Challengers Division, and this is also their second appearance in the semifinals as well.
Yeah, I mean they play a solid game. You know, of all the tournaments I've watched VCK, you know, it's nothing flashy, but it's very solid. They play good team paintball. They talk very well, and you know, they're knocking on the door. You know, like you said, the second time they've been in this position right here. So let's see if they take this opportunity to finally get into the Champions Division.
And a lot of people might say, hey, look, Moscow should be favored in this game because of the experience of the team. But when you really look at that team, yes, they do have some experienced members of Moscow Red Legion, but most of those guys are French. Those are the Tauntauns. And the Tauntauns got picked up by Moscow to come and play in the PSP to try to give them their best shot possible to, you know, solidify their team. And most importantly, get a lot of experience for the younger players on Moscow that are being called upon to rebuild the most successful team ever in the PSP. Moscow Red Legion has won 10 PSP events over the years. That is the highest number of PSP events once, more than Dynasty, it's more than Infamous. They've won 10 events, but right now they have a ton of guys, you know, under the age of 20 on that team, and all the Tauntauns that they picked up. But those Tauntaun players can play the game. We saw last year they played a lot of good games against good teams here in the PSP before they weren't able to make it to the last event. But I think it's cool. I really like watching the Tauntauns play. And then with VCK, how much experience are those guys getting? Tons of experience. They're getting so much experience now, 2 semifinal appearances in the Challengers Division. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly before we head to a quick break before this next game.
Great. We have a long break. So. Hey guys, I'm here with Ronnie D. Zoning Direct Sewers. Congratulations, you guys. You just beat Topgun. I mean, they had a chance to come back there and tie it up. We've seen tons of overtimes this weekend. At any point, were you freaking out, Ronnie?
You know what? When we got those penalties, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I knew that we had the mental toughness over them, and, you know, we're back.
You are bumping up to the champion bracket. What was it like playing in the Challengers Division for you, Greg?
Terrible, to be totally honest. I was mad all weekend. I wanted nothing more than to be playing back in the Champions, and I really felt that we deserved it. You know, we had a rough event in Dallas, but I really didn't feel like we were to compete with anyone in the Challengers bracket, and I think so far we've proved it. You know, we still need to go win the tournament, but everyone else, I think we've had, you know, 7 points scored on us so far, so I think we're just trying to prove a point.
Well, earlier this morning we saw both Infamous and Art Chaos get bumped down to the Challengers Division. Do you have any advice for them?
Advice for them: no crazy game plans. Play straight up, win your head-to-head battles, and stick to one game plan, and it'll work.
You had quite a few of your former teammates go to Art Chaos and play in Art Chaos for this year's tournament. Yeah. Were you surprised by their showing this weekend?
Yeah, actually slightly. I mean, you know, the 3 players that left our team were some of the best in the world, and I mean, no matter what, it's still a new team. Art Chaos is still a new team with the new guys that they have, so they still need to come together, just like we did the first event. You know, we struggled a little bit, and now, you know, we're working our way back. So.
Yeah, it was a different heat that we saw in Dallas. You guys definitely struggled. What are you doing differently now that we're going to be seeing in Chicago for a stronger heat team?
Working harder, working a lot harder.
How have your practices changed?
You know, we've been working more in pairs, trying to line up guys who play together consistently, who are just going to get used to each other playing together. We felt that in Dallas, our biggest issue was we were a new team. No matter how long the guys have been around or players have been around, we really felt that we had to mesh as a team, and with that, start with the basics. Play with the same 2 guys on the same side of the field over and over and over, 6 days straight, and now we're doing a little better.
You are doing better. You guys actually went undefeated in the prelims. You just won this one. This field layout has been tough for majority of the teams, though. How did you feel about the layout? Obviously, you've been performing extremely well.
You know what? It's really hard to get wide on this layout, so a lot of people have been playing inside the pocket, which is like, you know, the tower and the can. So if you can make it out wide, it's a huge advantage, but if you can't, it's really a heads-up battle, and you have to just stay alive and play smarter than the other team and play the long game better. So
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Heat 1, they are bumping back up to the champions bracket, so you will see them in Chicago on this field all weekend long. Stay tuned. We will have the next match coming up soon. Thanks, guys.
So here's the schedule for the rest of the day. Houston VCK, like Lauren said, taking on Moscow Red Legion, who is going to be taking to see who's going to be taking on Houston Heat in that Challengers Division final matchup, and also to see who's going to be moving up into the Champions Division. The winner of that game will advance to the Champions Division. And then the games that are going to, the games I'm really looking forward to, San Diego Dynasty and Tampa Bay Damage in the semifinals, and then Edmonton Impact and the upstart Chicago Aftershock. Chicago Aftershock, first time they made a Sunday in years. So those are the games this morning. Then we're going to get to all the divisional finals, and then the games we're all waiting for later on this afternoon. So thank you guys for sticking with us here, paintballaccess.com. We'll be right back with this next